Here's an expanded key point 1 for your speech, written in a seamless, motivational style suitable for delivery. When we speak about wisdom, it is easy to think of it as something that comes from experience, from reading, from learning, from working hard. We tell ourselves, if I just push harder, if I just try longer, if I just learn more, I will understand life better. But the truth is, all the effort in the world cannot replace the wisdom that comes from Allah. True wisdom is not just accumulated knowledge. It is clarity, understanding, and insight that aligns our actions with the reality of life. It is the ability to see beyond the surface, to understand what matters, and to act in a way that leads to real success, peace, and fulfillment. And this clarity, this insight, is a gift from Allah. We live in a society that glorifies busyness. We measure our worth by how much we do, how many hours we work, how many tasks we complete. But effort without direction is like running on a treadmill that never moves. You expend energy, yet you do not progress. This is where discipline becomes crucial, but discipline alone is not enough. Discipline without wisdom can make a person tireless but still lost. A person can be disciplined in doing the wrong things, and then their effort becomes wasted. This is why we must first seek wisdom from Allah, because only His guidance ensures that our effort is meaningful, effective, and rewarding. Think about the moments in your own life when things seemed unclear, when decisions felt impossible, when challenges overwhelmed you. Perhaps you worked harder and harder, trying to force a solution, yet nothing changed. Then there comes a moment, maybe small, maybe profound, where suddenly clarity arrives and the path forward becomes clear. That clarity is not the result of sheer struggle. It is the result of Allah's wisdom entering your life. When we connect with Him, when we reflect, when we act with intention and mindfulness, that wisdom illuminates the path. It directs our effort, making our work not just laborious but purposeful. And this is why understanding the source of wisdom matters so much. We are not just striving to get through life, we are striving to live rightly, to make choices that honor ourselves, our families, and our faith. Discipline and effort are tools, but wisdom is the compass. Without it, we risk exhausting ourselves in the wrong direction. With it, even small, consistent steps become powerful. Every action gains meaning. Every struggle becomes part of a greater journey. Every setback becomes a lesson. So if you feel tired, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel lost, it is not because you are weak. It is not because you are incapable. It is often because your effort is not yet aligned with divine wisdom. Allah's guidance does not come to those who merely run. It comes to those who seek, who reflect, and who open themselves to His direction. True wisdom does not just tell you what to do. It gives you clarity in the doing. It transforms effort from something that drains you into something that uplifts you. It turns discipline from a burden into a practice of purpose. And when we internalize this truth, we realize that life is not about endless struggle. It is about aligned struggle, where effort, discipline, and divine wisdom meet. And this is the beginning. The moment you recognize that Allah is the true source of wisdom, your life starts to change. Not because your workload changes, but because your understanding changes. You see the path, you know the priorities, and suddenly effort becomes manageable, and tiredness begins to give way to strength, purpose, and fulfillment. If you want, I can now expand key point 2 in the same flowing style to continue the speech seamlessly. Do you want me to do that next? Here's an expanded key point 2 for your speech, written in a smooth, motivational, and seamless style. Many of us have a habit of blaming our tiredness on external circumstances. We tell ourselves, I have too much work, life is too demanding, or I simply don't have the energy. But the reality is far more revealing. Most of the time, our tiredness is not a sign of hard work. It is a sign of undisciplined effort. It is a reflection of scattered energy. inconsistent habits, and a lack of structure in our lives. Discipline is not just about following rules or routines. It is about channeling your energy in a way that aligns with your purpose and with Allah's guidance. When your actions are undisciplined, even small tasks feel exhausting, and even small challenges seem overwhelming. Think about a day in your life when you felt truly productive and satisfied. It was not because you were working nonstop or pushing past exhaustion. It was because your actions were focused, prioritized, and purposeful. You knew what needed attention, and you gave it your best effort, step by step. That is discipline. It organizes your energy, sharpens your focus, and allows you to conserve your strength for what truly matters. Without it, effort becomes chaotic. We jump from task to task, react to distractions, and waste precious energy. And when the day ends, we are tired, frustrated, and convinced that life is wearing us down, when in reality, our own habits were the culprit. The truth is that human energy is limited, but our potential is immense. Allah has placed within us the ability to achieve remarkable things, but that potential must be guided. Discipline acts as a framework that supports our effort. It gives us the structure to channel our energy into meaningful work and sustainable action. When we lack discipline, we run on willpower alone, and willpower is finite. It runs out. Fatigue sets in. Motivation wavers, but discipline builds a system where effort becomes consistent, manageable, and even effortless over time. This is why someone with less time, but more discipline, can achieve more than someone with endless hours but no focus. Many people underestimate the power of small, disciplined actions. They think success requires grand gestures, extreme sacrifices, or pushing beyond natural limits every day. But discipline is rarely dramatic. It is quiet. It is the small choices repeated consistently, waking up on time, managing your priorities, controlling distractions, reflecting on your actions, and making each moment count. And when these small choices are guided by Allah's wisdom, they become a source of energy rather than a drain. Fatigue gives way to focus, frustration gives way to clarity, and a busy life transforms into a life of purpose. When you feel drained, reflect on the way you are living your life. Are you working hard but aimlessly, or are you working with discipline, guided by wisdom and intention? The difference is transformative. Tiredness is not a verdict on your strength. It is a signal that your habits need realignment. Discipline is not punishment. It is liberation. It frees you from the chaos of scattered effort and allows you to act in a way that is consistent, purposeful, and fulfilling. And when discipline is paired with seeking wisdom from Allah, it becomes unstoppable. You no longer work blindly. You work with clarity. You no longer struggle in vain. You move toward real results. So understand this. The next time you feel exhausted, pause and examine your life. Your tiredness is not the enemy. It is a messenger. It is telling you that your effort is undisciplined, that your energy is scattered, and that you need to realign your actions with intention and guidance. When you embrace discipline, guided by divine wisdom, effort becomes manageable, energy is restored, and life becomes not just bearable, but purposeful and fulfilling. Discipline is often misunderstood as something purely mechanical, something that confines us to routines and schedules. But true discipline is far deeper than just habit or repetition. It is a spiritual practice. It is a form of worship, a conscious alignment of our actions with the guidance of Allah, and a path toward personal growth that touches every aspect of our lives. When we begin to see discipline through this lens, it transforms from a burden into a tool of empowerment. It is not about forcing ourselves to do things we dislike. It is about nurturing ourselves, managing our energy, and acting in a way that honors both our potential and our purpose. Many of us try to separate the spiritual from the practical, thinking that discipline belongs only to the worldly realm. Managing time, finishing tasks, working hard, while spirituality belongs somewhere else, in quiet reflection or prayer. But discipline bridges these worlds. It teaches us consistency in our prayers, in our reflection, in our interactions with others, and in our daily responsibilities. Every act of self-control, every effort to maintain focus, every conscious decision to act intentionally rather than impulsively becomes a spiritual exercise. The more disciplined we become, the more our lives reflect the balance that Allah intended for us. We start to see that our routines, our priorities, and our energy are all interconnected, and when properly aligned, they allow us to thrive physically, mentally, and spiritually. Spiritual discipline also builds resilience. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and moments that test our patience and our resolve. Without discipline, these moments can feel overwhelming, leaving us frustrated, exhausted, and lost. But discipline gives us a framework to navigate difficulty. It teaches us that we do not have to be perfect in every moment. We only need to remain consistent in our intention, to return to our focus, and to trust in Allah's guidance. It gives us the strength to continue, not blindly, but thoughtfully, steadily, and purposefully. When we combine discipline with reflection and prayer, we find that even the hardest challenges become manageable because our actions are rooted in structure and wisdom. Moreover, discipline shapes our character. It molds patience, persistence, and responsibility. When we commit to doing what is right, even when it is difficult, we reinforce the habits that make us strong, capable, and wise. This is why discipline is a lifelong practice. It is not only about achieving external goals, but about cultivating internal qualities that sustain us through every stage of life. A disciplined heart and mind allow us to respond to circumstances with composure rather than chaos, with clarity rather than confusion. It is not a limitation. It is a liberation, freeing us from the unpredictability of scattered effort and impulsive reactions. Discipline also enhances the effectiveness of our effort. When our actions are consistent and intentional, every task we undertake becomes more meaningful. We stop wasting energy on trivial distractions and focus on what truly matters. The act of being disciplined is itself a form of respect for ourselves, for others, and for the guidance of Allah. It transforms ordinary work into a source of growth, learning, and fulfillment. And when this discipline is rooted in divine wisdom, it becomes a powerful force, enabling us to achieve more without feeling drained, to pursue goals without losing our peace, and to live a life that is purposeful in both action and spirit. In the end, discipline is not simply a habit. It is a spiritual practice that elevates every aspect of our lives. It harmonizes effort with wisdom, energy with intention, and action with reflection. When we embrace discipline in this way, we realize that we are not just managing our tasks or our time. We are shaping our lives, building resilience, and cultivating a character that aligns with the wisdom of Allah. When we talk about applying Allah's wisdom in our lives, we are not just discussing abstract ideas or lofty ideals. We are talking about a transformative approach that changes how we see the world, how we make decisions, and how we act every single day. True wisdom from Allah does not merely guide us in theory, it illuminates the path for action. It helps us discern what is truly important, what deserves our energy, and what aligns with our ultimate purpose. And when we combine this divine wisdom with discipline, the results are profound. Our efforts become meaningful, our struggles become manageable, and our journey through life becomes purposeful rather than chaotic. Too often, people work hard without direction. They expend energy on tasks that do not matter, chase goals that are not aligned with their values, or pursue outcomes that do not bring fulfillment. They measure their lives by busyness instead of progress, by noise instead of clarity. But when Allah's wisdom guides our decisions, we begin to see the difference. We begin to act intentionally, to invest our energy where it matters most, and to recognize that not all effort is equal. Some actions may demand less energy but yield greater results. Some challenges may seem daunting, but with clarity and focus, they become stepping stones rather than obstacles. Applying Allah's wisdom also transforms the way we approach failure and setbacks. Life is full of unexpected twists, disappointments, and moments that test our resolve. Without guidance, these moments can feel unbearable, leaving us frustrated, tired, and hopeless. But when we view challenges through the lens of divine wisdom, we recognize that every obstacle carries a lesson. Every setback is an opportunity to grow. Every difficulty can refine our character and strengthen our discipline. Wisdom allows us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It turns confusion into clarity, panic into patience, and frustration into perseverance. Moreover, applying Allah's wisdom empowers us to prioritize what truly matters. In a world filled with distractions, endless tasks, and competing demands, it is easy to lose sight of what is important. Wisdom helps us see clearly, to focus on the things that bring real benefit, and to avoid wasting time and energy on trivialities. Discipline ensures that we follow through, that our actions reflect our understanding, and that we remain consistent even when motivation fades. Together, wisdom and discipline become a framework that allows us to navigate life with confidence, purpose, and efficiency. When we internalize this principle, life begins to shift. Small actions gain significance. Effort becomes sustainable, decisions become easier, and even the most challenging goals feel attainable because we are not acting blindly. We are acting with guidance, clarity, and focus. Wisdom prevents wasted effort. Discipline ensures that our energy is used efficiently. And when these two forces come together, life becomes not just productive but fulfilling, not just busy but meaningful, not just surviving but thriving. Ultimately, applying Allah's wisdom in conjunction with discipline is what allows us to live a life of true impact. It turns ordinary work into extraordinary progress. It transforms struggles into lessons, chaos into structure, and fatigue into sustainable strength. Every choice we make, every action we take, becomes an opportunity to align ourselves with divine guidance and achieve outcomes that matter not only in this life, but in the greater purpose we are entrusted with. And when we live in this alignment, discipline guided by Allah's wisdom, we realize that life is no longer a constant battle with exhaustion or confusion. Instead, it becomes a journey of clarity, purpose, and fulfillment, where our energy is preserved, our efforts are effective, and our heart finds peace in knowing that we are walking the path we were meant to walk. If you want, I can now combine all 4 key points into a full 400 word speech polished for a smooth, motivational delivery with natural transitions between each point. This will give you a ready to deliver speech. Do you want me to do that?